What if I told you your biggest limitation isn't your intelligence, your talent, or even your opportunities? It's something you repeat every single day without realizing it, and it's one of the biggest reasons most people never reach their potential. Most self-improvement videos tell you what to do. Wake up early, be disciplined, stay motivated. But if you don't understand why your brain works against you, those solutions rarely last. So watch this video till the end, because once you understand the psychology behind it, the solution will finally make sense. When we were younger, most of us imagined a different future, healthier, more confident, financially free, doing work we actually loved. But then life happened. One postponed goal became another. One excuse became a habit. And before you noticed, months, sometimes years, had passed. Not because you lacked potential, but because something quietly pulled you away from the person you wanted to become. I call this the invisible drift. The invisible drift isn't one huge mistake. It's hundreds of tiny decisions. Scrolling instead of reading, skipping today's workout, saying, "I'll start tomorrow." None of those decisions seem important, but together, they slowly change your direction. And that's dangerous, because if you keep walking in the wrong direction, even slowly, one day you'll wake up far away from the life you wanted. So if you want to stop the invisible drift, here's the first thing you need to do. Notice the drift before changing anything. Notice where you're drifting. Tonight, write down 3 habits you repeat almost every day without thinking. Now ask yourself, if I repeated this habit every day for the next 5 years, where would it take me? Most people don't need a different dream. They need to notice the direction they're already walking. But here's the question. If we know these habits are hurting us, why do we keep choosing them? Behavioral psychologists call this present bias. Your brain naturally values today's comfort more than tomorrow's reward. Your future self wants to exercise. Your present self wants the couch. Comfort wins, not because you're lazy, but because your brain is built to chase immediate rewards. Now that you know where you're drifting, here's the second thing you need to do. Remove tomorrow. Stop saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." Instead, decide exactly when you'll do it. Not, "I'll study tomorrow." Say, "At 7 p.m., I'll study for 20 minutes. When the decision is already made, your brain has nothing left to negotiate. But even after you stop procrastinating, there's another invisible problem. Every repeated action slowly becomes your identity. At first you say, "I skipped today's workout." Eventually you start saying, "I'm just not disciplined." Your brain is constantly collecting evidence about who you are. Every promise you keep or break adds another piece. Now that you've stopped drifting, here's the third thing you need to do. Build evidence. Every night before sleeping, write down one thing you actually did today that proves you're becoming the person you want to become. Not your goals, not your intentions, your actions. Because identity doesn't change when you dream differently. It changes when your brain sees new evidence. Now there's one final obstacle. Your environment, every notification, every recommendation, every endless scroll is competing for your attention. That's why willpower alone usually fails. And finally, here's the last thing you need to do. Design your environment instead of fighting distractions. Make them harder to reach. Move your phone away. Log out of distracting apps. Hide the apps you waste time on. Small amounts of friction create surprisingly big changes because bad habits survive on convenience. So let's quickly put everything together. Notice where you're drifting. Remove tomorrow by deciding exactly when you'll act. Build evidence for the person you're becoming. And design an environment that works for you instead of against you. Because your potential isn't built in one life-changing moment, it's built by the invisible decisions you make every single day.